Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Couch of the Dead. We got a great episode for you because we just went and saw the brand new movie Haktua. Oh, sorry, wrong movie. Hokum. We went and saw Hokum.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And I'm Matt.
We are two diehard horror movie fans who want to share our love of spooky cinema with you.
So please, if you dare, join us on the Couch of the Dead.
And we are back. Ha! I got him this time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
So-
I did.
Anywho, we went and saw Hokum.
Hokum.
But before we get into that,
What is the creepy cocktail of the day?
ooh, I hit the microphone with my creepy cocktail.
Already he's hitting the microphone. I'm just having Malibu Bay Breeze. I know, pretty boring, but it's delicious. You should try it at home. It's just vodka with cranberry juice and pineapple juice, and it hits a spot. What about you?
I have some chocolate liqueur and some coffee liqueur and some milk. And I think the last time I called it a dirty bomb, but it didn't come out dirty. It came out pretty clean. But we'll still go with dirty bomb. So it's a dirty bomb.
So let's turn our attention really quick to our new members of the Couch of the Dead.
Well, we
Cast.
haven't introduced our old members in a while.
Well, no.
So in the back we have Art, the clown, the famous Art the clown. He is really that tall in real life. Like they use CGI in the movies. And we have Nosferatu, our buddy there, and they just hang out in the back and try not to murder each other.
To keep an eye on us.
We have our OG Necro Kitty.
Necro Kitty.
We have one of our newer additions, Luciba. And Luciba, you can't quite see here. She is propped up on the skulls of her vanquished enemies. And our new member,
The Grady Twins.
goes, we have Necro Kitty, we have Luciba, and twins!
Play with us, Daddy.
Okay. We got the Grady Twins, and if you don't know who they are, you don't belong here. Get out! They are here, and they are here to stay, and they want to stay and play forever and ever. We also have a new
Which is fitting with the theme of this movie, actually.
Oh,
Haunted hotels.
yeah. And we also have another prop that we got ourselves. These super adorable, what do you call this?
Chalice.
Chalices. They were supposed to be like full size. Not so full size.
Well, they are full size if you're a kid.
Yeah.
Every book's a children's book if the kid can read.
Okay. So, this is for later. This is courage liquor.
So, before we get into this movie, too, we're gonna do shameless plug for if you're in the eastern Pennsylvania area, in the Blandon area, head over to Kitt's Cafe in Gandalf's Garden. It's a really cool new idea. It's a cat cafe. You can go there and get cool pastries and all the kinds of coffee and protein shakes and drinks.
All of the pastries, all of the food that it's made that you can eat there is made in-house by the culinary baker. So it's not bought, nothing is
Yep,
fake.
everything's fresh. And for a couple extra bucks, you can rent some time in the cat room and you can go eat your food, or you can play with cats in the cat room. And if you want to, you can adopt them. There's a lot of cats out there looking for their homes.
Yes, lots of kitties.
So, Kitt's Cafe and Gandalf's Garden in Blandon, Pennsylvania. And with that, we are on to Hokum. I'm
Hokum.
going to say it that way all night. And Uh, all I gotta say about this movie is wow.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into the spoilers a little later, and you'll see if that's a good wow or a bad wow.
You have it
So-
pulled up.
Yep, I have it pulled up, and I need my glasses to see it. So, this movie was directed by Damian McCarthy, and if that name sounds familiar to you, it should, because he also made Caveat and Oddity,
Oddity, yes.
which were two excellent movies. And this movie is very similar in feel and pacing and dread. And so it's starring Adam Scott, which you probably all know. And
Although I was a little curious about the casting. I usually don't see him in serious roles like this, but it was a fantastic choice. I think he did really great. Who else?
Peter Coonan,
Mm.
David Wilmot, Florence Ordesh, and a list of others. Nobody really well known, and that's kind of a staple.
Yeah.
These, I believe, Damian McCarthy is Irish, and he casts a lot of actors who may be more well known in Ireland,
Maybe.
but not here in America. But that does not mean they did not turn in exquisite performances in this movie.
Very solid.
And really, my first impression of this movie is, thank goodness we had a good movie to see after a couple of clunkers. I mean, I think 2026 so far has been kind of weak for horror. There's been a lot of hype, but I mean, even the last new one we saw, The Mummy, was pretty good. It was still, I'll stick to my guns, it was still an Evil Dead movie, but it was a good movie.
It had its flaws.
Primate was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, some of these movies this year have not been really good.
We have reviewed quite a bit of 2026 new released in theater movies, so make sure you check out our channel. But yeah, I think this movie has been one of the strongest ones that we have seen and we are reviewing for 2026. I think there might have been a little bit of hype with this one. Fortunately, we've mentioned this before, we don't go out of our way to watch trailers.
Don't believe the hype.
Yeah, we don't like the extra hype that some movies get, so we try to stay pretty.
It's
pretty
like
neutral.
love. You just end up disappointed in the end, and somebody ends up dead, or both of you end up dead.
But first impressions for me, I thought this movie was very dreadful, very dark, very well put together. And at some point, you mentioned that they kind of threw everything at it, and I am glad that they did because it worked for me. So that's just first impressions. If you haven't seen this movie, we highly recommend you go to the theaters, watch it, and if you want to wait, you can wait. But if you still have the chance to go to the theaters, yeah, I definitely recommend to
go out now,
yes.
like right now, because we'll sit here and wait for you.
Yeah,
We
wait.
won't even edit it. We'll just sit here for like 2-3 hours and just wait for
Yeah,
you.
we'll wait. I mean,
And tell us
we
what you
might be
thought.
drunk by the time.
Might. So, it was very well shot, very atmospheric,
Yes.
dark as in just the overall tone of the movie as far as actually the way it was shot, but also just dark.
Mm-hmm. I think we should jump right in then. Oh,
Okay.
before we jump right in, make sure you like and subscribe if you like the content that we put out. We have obviously a YouTube channel. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music.
And rate us the best
Yes,
rating you
please.
can rate us on anything. It helps out, and we're trying to build a following here because we genuinely have fun doing this, and we'll
Yeah.
keep doing it because we have fun. But we want people to see it. You know, we don't think we're gonna make a living doing it, but
No, we both have full-time jobs.
one of the cool things about this podcast is you can watch it on YouTube, and unlike some of those other bigger podcasts, you can just jump right in and watch us, and you won't get annoyed by commercials
or
because nobody wants to pay us.
Or any political talk or any nonsense. No, we're not into that. We're into horror movies.
This is what it should be. It's an escape from all that stuff.
Yeah. So,
because movies are fun, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Without further ado,
let's spoil this bitch. My eyes! Ah! Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I got my cheat sheet as well. Oh, that's bright.
So
I'm glowing red.
So there's a lot to this movie for basically a one setting movie, a single set.
I mean, yeah.
So the movie opens with what I thought was maybe a little bit. Okay, I'll get into that later. But it opens in the desert, and we have what we assume is a Spanish conquistador.
Yes.
As you would say in Spanish, conquistador. He's combing the desert.
Comb the desert.
Mm-hmm. We ain't found shit. And he's with a young boy, and he has what looks like a map in a bottle. So he's out there, and you think, okay, he's looking for treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't get the cork out of the bottle. Like, I'm going through this stuff fast because we want to get to the meat of the movie. And long story short, he's looking for something hard to hit this bottle on, and he can't think of anything other than this kid's head. So he tells this kid to get in front of him and turn around, and he raises up his hand, and he's starting to have a crisis. Well, we find out now this whole scene is our main character, played by Adam Scott, Ohm. And Ohm Bauman. And
I thought it was Bowman. Okay.
And this is kind of a visual representation of what he's typing on his computer because he's an author.
Yeah.
And he's in his home, and it's dark. And one of the things that I keep wanting to say, Damien Leone. He's the guy who did Terrifier.
Yeah,
it's Damien McCarthy. What he does with a lot of his movies is plays with dark spaces, and you're always looking for something. And he hears a noise and looks up and sees this woman on the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And takes his little desk lamp and tilts it up and shines it. And of course, she's gone.
Done. Yeah, she's not there. It really made me remember Undertone, the movie Undertone, because she was all alone in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there were some very dark spaces that you kept trying to look and squint and see if you can see anything, and that's how
just
it
look
felt
for
me.
like hints of movement and stuff like that.
Yeah. Except there was, this thing, this woman on the stairs, and then there isn't anymore. And then he goes back to his writing, but then right as he was about to, he feels someone right by him, and it's what we see, what we think at the time is just a ghost of a woman. We don't know anything yet about it.
So there's your first jump scare.
Yeah. And next thing we know, he is driving down a very windy road.
Well, we see his parents, the urns.
Yes.
The two urns that look like salt and pepper shakers,
did.
big like wooden salt and pepper shakers.
Mm-hmm. And then it said mom and dad.
Of his mom and dad. And also to just a random revolver.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, this is weird. And yes, then we quick cut to him driving down this winding road in what we assume is Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because it's green.
I recognized it right away.
Yeah, you could tell. There was just moss all over everything, and
But anyway, the coloring of the movie was very well. That it was very effective. Was very muted. Was because you usually watch movies that are set in Ireland, and it's everything is so bright and so green that it's overwhelming the greenery. But in this movie, you can tell it was green, obviously, but it is the colors are so muted, and it just goes with the rest of the vibe of the darkness of the movie. So anyway, we find that he gets to a hotel, which we later know as the
Bilberry
yeah,
Bilberry Woods Hotel in
Woods
Ireland.
Hotel, yes.
Don't know if it's a real place, so if you're watching us from Ireland, you let us know.
Yes, please. The first thing he notices as soon as he gets out of the car is there's a guy cleaning a very polished car, but then there's also a dead goat.
Like
on the ground.
like almost like a ram,
Yeah.
like a mountain goat.
Yeah,
Goat.
yeah, it
Not
was a
like
very
not
big-
like a little domesticated.
No, it was a
you know.
big horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is Fergal.
Yes. He's
Fergal
the groundkeepers.
Fergal Burgle Nurgle. He's the groundskeeper, and he kills this goat with a crossbow, which is pretty badass. And Fergal's pretty badass. He's like a hunter and like your big macho kind of guy,
And we have Om, and he's walking, towards the entrance of the hotel, and he kind of gets in his business. Like, did you really have to kill it? And Fergal just goes and explains.
Well, he's like jumps on the cars.
Jumps on the car. So, but what this interaction gave me already was a sense that Om kind of feels like he could just.
Well, Om's
be
an asshole.
Yeah.
He's an asshole
Yeah,
in this
like,
for
he
for
wasn't
most
his
of this movie
business.
anyway. Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
He talks down to people. He obviously thinks, well, we find out he is a big author. They've made a couple of movies out of his books and stuff. So he kind of thinks he's the shit. And
Yeah. He thinks this asshole is higher than everybody else.
Yeah.
So he gets inside of the hotel, and we get this creepy scene of this old raggedy man telling this very creepy story to two children on what it looks like a piece of art with figurines.
Yeah, like almost like ivory or ceramic.
Yes,
kind of
ceramic,
like
yeah.
figurines.
They're little figurines of what it looks like either lost souls or children with
chains and shackles.
Yeah. And the old guy is telling this very creepy story to the children, and obviously we have Om here.
Well, the story is about a witch who lives in the woods and takes travelers, and she chains them and takes them to wherever she takes them. Yeah, and
that they are hands that are reaching to
these
to
lost
the
souls, to these
lost
people
souls,
that are
yes.
abducted by this witch.
Yes, and this obviously comes later.
Well, and he's telling the story to these kids, and obviously he's reveling in these kids being totally creeped out. And yeah, and Ohm's kind of like, these your kids? Do you know these kids? And he's like, no. And he's like, kids, go back to your parents. So obviously he sticks his nose in this business too. He's just being a dick to everybody right now. And he kind of tells the guy, like, who do you think you are? And he's like, I'm the owner of the hotel. And he's like,
yes.
oh.
So
okay.
we meet, I think his name is Cobb.
Cobb.
Like
Cobb.
like a cob.
C-O-B.
Like a corn on the cob.
Yeah. Damned if I know.
So, and then we also meet the guy behind the desk. What's his name?
That's Mal. M-A-L.
Mal, yes.
He is the manager of the hotel. And we also meet Fiona.
And Albie.
Albie is the bellhop, and
well, we meet him later on, but
Yeah.
at the time, it's kind of irrelevant.
so we find out that like one of my first questions was why did Ohm randomly go to Ireland You know, I was like, well, I guess he just decided to go to Ireland.
But
I
we
said
do
that.
find out.
Well,
Yes.
we find out that he is there to spread his parents' ashes
Mm-hmm.
out at this one tree because they went to this hotel on their
On
honeymoon,
their honeymoon.
and that was the last place they remember being happy.
Yeah.
And he very lovingly spreads his mom's ashes at the
Later
base
on.
of this huge
Mhm.
tree. And then he just kind of takes his dad's ashes and flicks them to the wind. So it's like, okay, he probably didn't like dad
Daddy
too
issues.
much.
But he is holding on to this picture of his mom, and he asks Fiona, "Hey, do you know where I can find this? I believe it said something in the back about the redwoods or something."
Yeah.
So she obviously tells him where it is, and that's where he goes later on. So we do know now that he's there to spread the ashes of his parents.
And he's there for a week.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm thinking that's a long time to stay at a hotel.
And another thing is he's there for Halloween, and that comes up later. The manager tells him that they're gonna have a Halloween party, and da 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 da, and he is just so miserable. Is that he's like, yeah, can you put me the farthest away from this party?
Mm-hmm.
Where you can't.
Yeah, he
hear
wants nothing to
anything.
do with
No.
fun.
Nope. He's
the fun police.
absolutely miserable.
Yep.
And then that same evening, he's downstairs drinking at the bar, and that's when he's having a conversation with Fiona.
Well, while we kind of glossed over while he's spreading
Because
his
I thought
ashes.
we were going to be quick.
Well, no, he meets Jerry
Oh, we meet Jerry.
out in the woods.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do
and
meet Jerry.
and Jerry's kind of like this homeless guy who lives out in the
Background,
woods
yeah.
and starts kind of he offers him a drink. It's
Well,
moonshine.
he's sitting by the dead goat.
Yeah, because he's gonna bury it.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like Fergal either, but he also offers Ohm a drink, and it's milk, but it's milk laced with powder made from magic mushrooms.
Yeah. So he lives in the woods,
This
so he
comes
knows
back
yeah.
into play
Mhm.
because he makes a comment of it opens your mind to see
and-
things.
Yes. And so he offers, well, Own at this time, he's like, no, do you have anything stronger? And he opens his jacket and he gives him like a little bit of a glass bottle with some clear liquid and says something to the effect that, it's stronger or whatever. That's about it, basically. But they did have some, like, a nice conversation, and he wasn't an asshole to Jerry.
No, he was halfway nice to Jerry because
Yeah.
Jerry offered him booze.
Yeah, yeah.
So we go back to the hotel bar
Mm-hmm.
now that we're there. Ohm is kind of taking a liking to Fiona, like he's not a total asshole to her. He's a little nicer to her. And
Except, well, he's talking to her about what he's writing.
yeah.
And he's telling her what, kind of like where he's stuck. And she sounds to be someone who knows about his books or his movies. So she's aware of I guess his style, but even she said something kind of like why would you end it like that? So he is a little bit of an asshole. He said, well, they always make my books into movies. You can get your own little ending, whatever ending you want. Something to that effect. So again, he was nicer to her, but he was still an ass. I think it's just his personality.
Well, then she explains to him about he notices that when he went up to his room that the honeymoon suite
Oh, yeah.
is caged off. There's a little elevator going up to the honeymoon suite, and there's a cage over it, and it's locked. And he asks about it, and she says that hasn't been open for years, and because because there's a witch that lives in there.
Yep, and she is all
and it's
up
haunted.
on that. Yep, and she's all up on that. She's like, she brings out a book or something, and she's like, really into it.
It's a book of like Irish folk tales and stuff like that.
And he goes, Hokum.
Yep. And she basically says, so if you're ever being chased by a witch, just take a piece of chalk and draw a circle around yourself. And he says, if I'm ever being chased by a witch, I'm going to need a psychiatrist, you know. And so now we've kind of touched on the basis of our movie, which is there really a witch in the honeymoon suite?
Really haunted?
Yeah.
So then we come, Albie comes to the area, and this is where
Albie is the bellhop.
the bellhopper, and this is where we meet
The bellhopper.
What do you call it?
Bellhop.
Isn't that the same thing?
No.
Well, he hops, no? So he is a fan of Ohm and his books, and he is really trying to, get in a conversation with him, and Ohm is just being so dismissive. And
yeah, but
he
also
even
too,
said-
Albie's being a little pushy. He's
like,
I
"Oh,
have
can I bring a book?"
I have a manuscript. Can you read it?
Well,
Which
before
is
that, he
really
said-
pushy.
Before that, he said, I have one of your books. You mind if I bring it down and you sign it for me? And he said, nope.
Yeah.
Like that.
And
then he said that.
Well, and at one point he grabs a spoon. Ohm grabs a spoon and puts it into
like
a
lit up
candle,
thing.
something like that. It's like a mouth of something that's supposed to be a candle.
Mm-hmm.
And he heats it up and burns Albie in the hand with it, with a hot spoon. So this dude's just a total dick.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, why'd you do that? He goes, so you can go. Something like that. He's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
So you're not really caring that much for this character yet?
So Ohm has a little too much to drink. And after everything settles down and he goes back up to his room, Fiona notices that he left the picture of his mom and his voice recorder, his
Yes,
tape
he has,
recorder
like, a tape
that he
recorder.
uses for ideas of a book. So they're going to take it back up to his room to him.
Well, she did say that she was having a bad feeling about it. So she
Yeah.
asks, was it Albie? She
Mm-hmm.
asked to please open the door to his room. And he's like, no, I don't, like, that's not, no. And she says that, I really have a bad feeling about this.
Yeah.
And so she opens the door and Ohm is hanged.
Yep. Ohm has hung himself. And that was actually pretty jarring because I did not expect that.
No, I did not either.
We flash after that to Ohm in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So it's inferred that Fiona and Albie cut him down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we did gloss over a conversation he had with Fiona about his mom because he was hanging around with a picture of his mom.
Oh yeah.
And Fiona, and she's like, oh yeah, she's very pretty, and he said basically she died not long after that picture was taken. She came home from work and someone shot her on the face. And Fiona said something to the effect of, oh my gosh, did they put him away? Did they catch a person? And he said, well, no, the person was too young and they gave him a break or something.
He was too young to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody young was in
Too
the
young.
house and
Too
shot her.
young?
And then so Dad just kind of went over the edge and drank himself to death.
Yes. So that's what he said
Mm-hmm.
to her. So now we are at the hospital, and I believe this is when we have the flashback of him at home.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a little boy, and he's watching TV. And you know how you used to, I don't know, for those of you who are old enough to be sitting on the floor inches away from the TV, that's how we have this flashback. And then so now he's at the hospital in Ireland. He gets out of the hospital. Obviously, he is fine, but kind of, I guess he feels some sort of way because he goes back to the
He goes back to get his stuff.
Right, that's right. Because at this point, he didn't know how he ended up in a hospital. Like, for all he knows, he should have been dead.
And apparently he was out for like a week.
Yeah, they did say something.
He
like
was
that.
out for a while.
So he goes to the hotel, and the hotel is actually getting closed for the season, which reminded me of
The Shining.
The Shining.
Well, depending on what kind of area of the country you're in, yeah,
Yeah.
hotels may. I almost said hose may close for the season. Hose never close for the season. They're always open.
So, and he talks to the manager, Al, and he really wants to know like what happened and who found him, and they tell him it was Fiona, and he feels terrible. So he's like, well, where can I find her? I want to say a few words. After all, she saved his life. And they're like, well, actually, she's gone missing. The last anyone saw her was at the Halloween party, and and I'm thinking at this point, I am thinking that she must have gone absolutely crazy after finding a guest hanged in the room. So maybe she just skedaddle and went, but it was a little darker than that.
So, yeah, he's asking a lot of questions. He's like, well, did you search the whole hotel? And they're like, well, yeah, of course we did. And he's like, did you look in the honeymoon suite? And they're like, no, it's locked, and the only person that has keys is the owner. And he never gives them up. So no, she's not in the honeymoon suite. Well, he kind of now kind of gets it in his head if he's gonna check the honeymoon suite.
Yes, because Fiona had mentioned that she had been dying to go in there and just look around, check it out, see if she can find a witch maybe.
And one of the other main suspects in this is Jerry, our homeless guy who lives in a van down by the woods. And the first thing I thought was, oh, he's got a pretty sweet setup in there. And so Ohm is down there like noodling around, because we also find out through some police investigation that Jerry supposedly killed his wife 10 years ago.
They have been looking for him ever since.
Which, again, is kind of a plot hole. Because
everybody kind of knew where Jerry...
Well, yeah. Well, no, the thing is, they didn't know that he killed his wife, the locals.
Right.
But we found out that Fergal is related to like every police officer in the local police precinct, whatever. You would think that information would have gotten out in the last 10 years. So that was a little, and going, oh, well, I know that guy. He lives right down there. You think that would have gotten out, but a little bit of a plot hole.
Yeah. Not a big one.
Not major, but...
No. But so we have Ohm, and I believe he went to look for Jerry?
Yeah, he went to look for Jerry because he figures Jerry is now the prime suspect in Fiona's apprehension or her missing. And,
but he sees the van alone, so he goes into the van and sees the book that Fiona has showed him at the bar.
Yeah, the folklore book. So he's like, okay, 2 + 2 = chicken. And Jerry shows up and explains to Ohm that, Fiona's dead. I know she is. And he starts telling Ohm a story about when he breaks into the hotel at night to steal medications that people leave. And he's going through. He hears a bell. And there's a series of bells at the front desk.
With the room names.
Which, back in the day, you could pull on something in your room and it would ring the bell.
And you...
Hence, the bellhop. Because he would hop up to the room that the bell had rung.
So what is a person called when he hops to the room? He's a hopper, so he's a bellhopper.
Anyway... So this is where we get like a really cool scene here when he's explaining that he was in there and saw the bell for the honeymoon suite ringing, and he looks down and sees what we assume is Fiona's ghost, really scary, really creepy looking ghost pointing up, like I'm up there. So,
but he also asked Jerry at some point. He says, they're looking for you. You are the prime suspect. Did you kill your wife? And he explains to him that yeah, he did kill his wife, because his wife was very ill, and she begged him to.
It was a whole Kevorkian kind of situation.
So she asked him, and he gave her some combination of medication or something, and she passed. So it was a.
So he did kill his wife, but it was
it
kind of
wasn't
like a
like-
mercy killing almost.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he was doing what he thought was best because she was in so much pain.
And then he said that he's been living out in the woods ever since because he knew he would be in trouble, I guess. So anyway, so Jerry tells him now. At this point, Ohm is like, yeah, no, he didn't believe the whole ghost story. But Jerry tells him, begs him, and convinces him to please go with him because he was planning to go that night, to up to the honeymoon suite. And
He stole the keys.
yeah, he stole the key because he's like, no, it's locked. And he goes, I got the keys.
Yep.
So he convinces him, and he's like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll go with you, because Jerry actually sounds very terrified of going alone, which, hey, I don't blame him. So they wait for the last vehicle to leave the hotel at night. They go to the hotel and they break in.
Is it breaking in if you have the keys?
Anyway, so Ohm is waiting at the lobby while Jerry goes to find something. I think
The crossbow.
Oh, that's right.
He went in the back to look for the crossbow.
Yeah.
And he is put in one hell of a chokehold by Fergal.
Mm-hmm. And Fergal looked like he could definitely take
You can
him.
tell Fergal's put guys in chokeholds before. And he chokes Jerry out and drags him out while Ohm hides in the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
And because he didn't know that Ohm was there.
Right.
He
Why would he? Yeah.
And he puts Jerry in the back of his van.
And
How
skedaddle.
ironic that Jerry ends up in the back of a van.
So Ohm now is all alone, and he has this.
He has the keys.
And he has like this lamp.
Well, it's an electric.
And so then he decides, you know what the heck? I'll go up to the honeymoon. And he does.
The whole time throughout his journey to the honeymoon suite, when he gets into the honeymoon suite, we see visions and flashes of his mother with him.
So he's up in a honeymoon, and he's looking through the rooms. There's like, it is a really big room. It has like different rooms within the room.
Well, and this is where we find out what happened to his mom.
Yes.
To
Yes.
Ohm's mom.
Yes.
Where he's just sitting in front of the TV watching the most disturbing looking. Now, we don't know if this is just how he remembered it in his
Right.
head,
Right.
but this disturbing looking, wide-eyed, bunny rabbit looking thing.
Man with
Man,
bunny-
look at, like, really disturbing.
really creepy, really
Yeah.
off the wall. Like, what is this? It actually kind of reminded me of Channel Zero.
Yeah. It
You
did.
know what I mean?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one,
Yes.
Yeah.
The Cove.
Candle Cove.
Yes.
But
yes.
he's playing with the gun.
As a child,
He gets a hold of Dad's gun. He's playing with the gun.
the gun.
So I'm not gonna get too much into like gun safety, but I didn't see him pull the hammer back, and it's a revolver. So how did it go off if he didn't pull the hammer? But whatever.
We didn't see exactly.
The gun accidentally goes off, and then we hear like a scream, and then
And a
his
moan.
mom comes like
And she's snoring.
trudging in,
Yeah.
and she leans down behind him, and her face is shot, and she kind of hugs him,
Mm-hmm.
and Mom dies. So we find out that Ohm accidentally killed his mother, and that's probably why he's been dick all these years, because he's carrying around a lot of guilt. So you're
Mhm.
starting to get maybe a little empathy for him at this point, because he's also looking really hard
Mm-hmm.
to try and find Fiona, which he knew for what, couple hours,
Mm-hmm.
but he's really invested in trying to find her.
Yes. And this also explains throughout the movie we hear he is obviously being hunted by someone or something, and up until this point we really didn't know what or who. We kept hearing noises and we kept hearing moans, like the moaning of a woman. And this is the last of.
Well, and this honeymoon suite, our description doesn't do it justice, but it's an abandoned honeymoon suite. It's old, it's
Creepy.
raggedy, it's dark,
Very
it's
dark.
gray,
Yeah.
it's
He did find lights, but even with the lights, it's very dark. But before he was able to finish searching the entire room, he hears someone, and it's Mao. He comes up to the room, and he's like, "What are you doing here? Like, what the, like,
Yeah.
this is off limits. Like, what are you doing here?" And it's in the middle of the night anyway, so no one should even be in the hotel because they were closing for the season. And so he explains to Mal that he was up there. Jerry was convinced him to go up to the honeymoon, and he had the key. And so Mal took the keys from him, and he goes, "No, we gotta get going. We can't be here, and this is, we're closing for the season." Da 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 da. And at this point, their own is like, "Okay, yeah, sure, let's get out." But then he sees like what looks like to be one of those old dumbwaiters, and he opens it.
Well, if you don't know what a dumbwaiter is, like we should, it's a waiter that's not very smart.
It's a
No.
dumbwaiter.
It's like a little like service elevator.
Mm-hmm.
It's big enough for a person to like sit in, maybe, and it generally goes down to the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes up through the wall, and you just open like a little set of doors or slide up or over a little door. So it's like a mini like service elevator.
And if you have
That was meant to send like food and stuff like up and down.
Mm-hmm. I loved how creepy dumbwaiters are. They really are. Anyway, he calls the dumbwaiter. No, he first peeked in, and you can see it goes all the way down to the basement, and he goes, "What's down there?" And Miles like, "Oh, nothing. Like, that's just a basement and nothing. Like, he's just very suspicious.
Yeah, and Holmes like, "Well, how do we know Fiona's not down there?
How do we know? Like, have you checked?" And
he's like, yeah, we checked. Let's go.
yeah, Mal is just really trying to get him out of there. A little too suspicious. And he's like, he touched the button and the dumbwaiter
it leads you to believe that Mal at this point, because we don't know what we know, but it leads you to believe that Mal's like, we want to get out of here before the witch comes out and gets us. Like we don't want to be in here.
Right. Yes. So he called the dumbwaiter, and it's coming up. You can hear it. And this is when Mal said, "Fuck this." He leaves, but not before he fucking locks him in the honeymoon. What? And so all we see is him leaving the hotel, gets in his car, and just fled. And back in the room, we see what comes up in the dumbwaiter, and is...
Well, that's why he left.
Well, yeah.
Because Ohm hits the button for the dumbwaiter.
Yes.
And
That's
what
I'm
is
saying.
in, it's the very disturbing corpse of Fiona dressed in a bunny suit from
Because
Halloween.
it was Halloween.
And then Mal sees, that's when Mal locks him in.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh shit, I'm locking you in, I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
And he just, whoo, and takes off.
He's out. And now we have Ohm in this honeymoon with this dead corpse, and he's locked.
And I gotta say, the thing that Damien McCarthy does really well is he makes corpses with open eyes look very lifelike. Like you think they're gonna move at any given point. Spoiler alert, they don't. He did it in Caveat too. That was so creepy. Corpse never moves, but you're just always waiting for just to blink.
Yeah.
Or something like that. It really keeps you on edge
The
with
makeup,
the way he
I
does
think
it.
it was
Yeah.
absolutely stunning. The work that they put on this woman, and it was very creepy. Definitely.
So what is sitting with Fiona's corpse, but Ohm's tape recorder?
Mm-hmm.
So now we start finding out what happened to Fiona. He obviously records some of this and says about how Mal basically drugged her at the Halloween party, took her upstairs, put her in the dumbwaiter, and sent her down because surprise, surprise, she is
Pregnant.
pregat
Pregot.
pregnant
Pregnant.
with Mal's baby, and Mal wanted nothing to do with this
No,
because
he's
he has a wife
married.
and a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and he is just going to dispose of Fiona.
Yep.
And possibly send her to the basement to the witch.
Mm-hmm.
At,
Problem solved.
at this point, we know there's something sinister going on, but we don't know there's
We don't
anything
know that yet.
supernatural
No.
going on.
So at this time, he doesn't know what to do. He looked everywhere to see how he can break out of this room. He can't. So there is a bed. He goes up to the bed and he takes out his flask, obviously, with alcohol, and starts drinking. And I believe he starts seeing the ghost of his mother.
Yeah, and so he now eventually he's like, I don't know how to get out of here. He's trying every way he can to get out of this room.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little door, like a crawl space kind of
space.
door going out to the hallway, but he can't get through because it's padlocked from the other side. In the meantime, Jerry wakes up in the back,
of the
Fergal's
van. Mm-hmm.
and Fergal like zip tied Jerry's wrists together and
Didn't search him.
didn't search him. So of course Jerry's got a knife and he pulls it out and he just like
Mm-hmm.
cuts himself free and opens the back doors of the van and jumps out of the van.
Yeah.
And we don't see Jerry for a little bit
while.
yet now, because we go back to Ohm in this room and decides, well, maybe I can take the dumbwaiter down to the basement and get out through there, which is a mistake.
Yes.
Because he pulls Fiona's body out, and just the act of him pulling Fiona's body out, the way it's shot, is so disturbing.
Very.
And he rigs up the dumbwaiter because the switch at the basement doesn't work send the dumbwaiter back up.
Well, and he finds out because this tape recorder keeps clicking on by itself, and it just continues to fill in the story. So in the story that Fiona is recording herself, basically saying, Mal did this to me, this is why, I'm really hoping that I can get out of here, but if I can't, this is what happened. And then later on, when it turns on, it says something like, there's someone else down here, and the dumbwaiter thing doesn't work. I can't go back up. So that's how we know. If it goes down, he might not be able to get back up.
So there's
one thing that keeps happening from the beginning that he got into this room is the stupid clock keeps dinging.
Well, and it's a clock that has a little like stainless steel kind of figurine on the top, and it looks like it's holding a golf club.
Yes.
And it swings and hits the bell and denotes the hour.
Mm-hmm.
He decides he's going to move this clock, he's going to take the bell out, and he's going to put it right in front of the switch in the honeymoon suite so that when it swings around, it hits the switch and it'll bring the dumbwaiter back up. Which was a really cool, I thought, okay, that's a really cool plot device. That's and it's really smart by him. And he syncs up his watch and sets an alarm so that when he's down there, he knows, like, beep, 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 alarm goes off, get back to the dumbwaiter. So he goes down, and he's in the basement, and the basement is what you would think. It's like a series of tunnels. Yeah. With electricity, like some lights on the walls and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of searching through stuff, but he hears a woman's voice. Mm-hmm. He hears, like, moaning and... Mm-hmm. Just the sound design alone of this movie, it just gives you chills. Yeah,
it was very... And then as he was able to look down the hall, it was, the dark, very dark space that keeps you very focused on to see what you're looking at because you know something is there. He can hear it
Well,
coming.
and when he goes down in the hallway, he sees all kinds of things hanging in this one
Yeah, like
hallway,
trinkets.
like trinkets
Yes.
from, you would assume, people who were abducted by the witch.
Yeah, like trophies even, you know. So at some point, he finally starts seeing the apparition of a face coming towards him, and it's about time. It's about to be time.
His alarm's going off.
Mm-hmm. To go get back on the dumbwaiter before he, goes. It goes without him, and as he jumps on the dumbwaiter, he makes it right on time, of course, and face of the witch gets closer. Now it's like.
Now we just see a pale face with glowing eyes,
Yes.
and I don't know again how he does it, Damian McCarthy, but eyes are such a big part of his villains in his movies. You know, just the eyes alone of these villains and some of these people just creeps you out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's coming closer and closer, and he's sitting there waiting, and he's like, come on, come on, come on. Well, it finally goes up. The dumbwaiter goes up, and he gets back into the honeymoon
And when he
suite.
looks down, he can see the witch kind of crawling on all fours, trying to go up, but it doesn't make it. So I don't know how she even goes up. But
because she's a witch.
Yes, I know, but she is shackled down there. So
No, she's not. She's not shackled.
Then
She
how can-
has the shackles.
oh, okay. So
She just can't get up because of the dumbwaiter, apparently. Or she can get up into the honeymoon suite, but that's why they have it locked up.
Yeah.
So she's coming up after Ohm.
Yes.
And you see her hands come up and start like pulling the door
Yes.
open for the dumbwaiter.
Oh, that's right, because he's by the bed,
Yeah.
and for some reason there was a chalk down.
Well,
in
when
the
he was
basement.
downstairs in the basement, he found some chalk conveniently,
Conveniently, yes. So
and
he
remembers
is
what Fiona
what Fiona
told
had
him.
said, and obviously it clicks on him that he's gonna make a circle, and he makes a circle conveniently around the bed.
Well, the first thing I thought was when he was running through the honeymoon suite trying to get away, and he fell into the tub of nasty water. The first thing I thought was her going, you know what, just kill me at that point. Yeah. Yeah. Like just let the witch kill me
Yeah.
after I fell in that
No.
water.
Mm.
But yeah, he draws the circle, and now the bed in the honeymoon suite has like a canopy
Oh, I
around
love
it.
those. They're so cute.
And so it's
So
a very
creepy.
very sheer white
yes.
canopy. So we see like the silhouette of this witch just like moving.
Oh, but he
around the
did
bed.
finish the circle. So he's
Yeah.
inside of the circle,
she can't get
and
him.
he's because magic chalk. And so she is on the other side of this sheer thing, curtains that are around the canopy of the bed. And it is so disturbing, but he's safe because chalk.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden we see a cutscene, and not a cutscene, but we cut to the next scene, and he's
Well, the sun's coming.
fast
The
asleep.
sun's coming up.
He's like,
It's
how did he
daybreak.
even?
And I'm sitting there, and we see Ohm wake up on the bed, and I'm like, there's no fucking way
But
I would have
also,
fallen asleep.
he ended up drinking the rest of his flask.
Yeah.
So maybe he was like,
Because that's the good thing you want to do when you're trying to
Sure,
evade a
not
witch
being
is
your
get
own-
drunk.
Yeah. I mean, might as well. If you're gonna die, fuck it.
So at this point, now Jerry starts making his way back to the hotel, and Mal is at the hotel the next morning because I think Mal just probably figured that the witch took care of Ohm.
Yeah. So he wants to maybe check.
Yeah,
See if
he
it's all
wants to
gone.
just double
But then he
check.
finds out that there's blood all over the entrance to the hotel, and he's like, what the heck? So he goes to the honeymoon. Well, he's gonna go to the elevator,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees
Jerry.
kind of like banging his whole body. What the hell was that?
Well, he jumped out of the car,
Yes, no, I know.
the van.
But why are you, with your whole body, trying to get into this cage? It doesn't make
because
that
he
didn't make
because he
sense.
thinks his friend is dead. He's
Well,
desperate.
yes.
He's desperate. He probably has a concussion because he jumped out of a moving van,
He's
and he's all
all
beat to
fucked
shit.
up.
He's
Yeah,
all
he's
cut up
really
and
bad.
road rash, and he's
Yeah.
limping and dragging his leg.
Yeah,
And like
he's
Jerry's
all bloody.
not
He's
doing
not
well.
okay. He's not okay. But
But he
Matt-
walked all the way back
mm-hmm.
to try and save his friend.
Mm-hmm. And well, actually, I believe he found Ohm's car because remember that Ohm's car was at his van by the van,
Mm-hmm.
and then he drove it to the hotel. So anyway, Mal sees Jerry. And he's like, yeah, what the fuck are you doing here? And he explains to him, hey, Omni's up there. I told him, and now he might be dead. And so, long story short, he convinces.
Well, Mal makes up a story about, driving him back because he was
Yes.
too drunk.
He's like,
and
oh,
he drove
yeah,
him
he was
back
too
to
drunk
the airport
and he's gone. He's fine.
yada yada yada. Meanwhile, Ohm looks out the window
And he sees
upstairs
the car.
and sees Jerry there and has the idea that he's going to use the bell.
Mm-hmm.
So he finds the knob and starts pulling on the knob.
But by
Well,
then,
yeah, and this was almost comical
it was.
because the bell's ringing, but it was after Jerry went outside.
Yeah.
And then he kind of comes back in.
Forgot his keys. So
and
he goes back in.
But the knob breaks.
Yeah.
The wire snaps.
As he's coming in, and here's Miles just sweating bullets. He's like, if he hears this, that's gonna be it.
Yep.
So this whole interaction was a little comical. It was a nice relief because, well, and it was also tense. There was a lot of tense because you want Jerry to hear the bell, and every time he's there, he doesn't hear it, and then every time he's outside, he's ringing the bell.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, he comes back. Jerry does, and he does it. He tells to Mal. He talks to Mal and says, "You know what? One thing I learned about Fiona is never to ignore when something feels off." And so that's when the bell rings, and they looked at each other.
He Ohm up in the hotel room decides he's going to kick the wall in a little bit farther underneath and reach down in the wall to grab the wire.
Mm-hmm.
So he's making good decisions. He's
Mhm.
making really smart decisions, and he rings the bell, and that's when Jerry's alerted to his presence.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so Jerry basically is now going to go up and save his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And how did he get the keys?
I don't know.
I forget
He's
how.
thinking that.
I forget how Jerry got the keys.
Yeah, I think he just stole them somehow.
Yeah, might be another plot hole in that.
Yeah, because how did he go up by himself? Anyway.
But anyway, at this point, I think Mal just he flips
He
out.
goes
He
after.
freaks out. And
I think they were just sitting on.
oh yeah.
And he
he-
grabs it and
yeah.
he goes up.
And there's a space heater,
Mm-hmm.
and he puts an electric blanket over the space heater
Mal does.
to
yes.
start a fire.
And then he goes
I'm
up
thinking
after
there's
Jerry.
a lot of easier ways to start a fire. But
That was pretty easy. But yeah, no. Because
There's-
that'll give him that should have given him time because he went up to try to stop Jerry from
yeah.
getting. So and he took the crossbow,
Fergal,
Fergal.
Flanders, Oakley Dokley, crossbow Arini.
So we see Jerry, and he's finally up there, and he's trying to rescue Ohm.
Well,
But at the same
he
time-
he also picks up a very conveniently placed hatchet
Oh yeah.
right off the hotel desk
Mm-hmm.
and heads up. And so Ohm hears Jerry on the other end and is basically telling Jerry, like, hey, I'm in here. And Jerry's like, okay, here, I'm going to chop this up.
Just one chop.
And, it's an old padlock, an old wooden door. And he chops it. And as Ohm's crawling out to what you think is freedom, here's Mal with the crossbow. Now, I thought, well, maybe the crossbow stays in the hotel because they hunt goats. But anyway, Mal shoots Jerry right in the head with the crossbow.
Yeah.
And Jerry's dead.
Jerry's dead.
And Ohm scurries back into the honeymoon suite because Mal's ready to just shoot him as soon as he comes out. So he's got a way out, but he's still trapped.
Yes. Yes. And Mal is trying to tell Ohm to get out, that it's over, and somehow he's like, you know what, screw this, and he leaves, but he forgets the keys.
Yeah. So, well, he's panicking at this point. He runs down and he doesn't have the keys.
Well, because there's smoke coming up already from the fire.
So,
and the alarm started going
yep.
off.
And he runs back up, but in the meantime, Ohm grabbed the keys off of Jerry's corpse, and he's gonna head back down into the basement now because the fire alarm's going off, and he thinks, well, if he's got the keys, maybe he can get out through the basement somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, he's wrong because he's down in the basement. Now we get like full on witch.
Yeah.
And she is coming through the darkness, and he's got his chalk.
So now he has the keys.
Well, and he has his chalk, and he starts drawing the circle around him. And we see the witch just like descend on him, and it cuts away. So we don't know what happens yet.
But we do see Mal is again desperate, and he's looking for the keys because he can't get out. He goes down to the basement himself also and starts looking for Ohm. And then he sees the keys hanging like one of the trinkets. So he's just trying really hard to like undo them. And in the meantime, here comes the witch. And now we see the full witch, and she just happens to just touch him. And all of a sudden, he's to Mal, and Mal has shackles in his wrist. In the meantime, when we continue to see the witch, and Mal is getting, well, no, not yet, but we see the witch, and we see Ohm on the floor. We see that Ohm also has shackles on his wrist. So did the circle worked? In the meantime, also.
Well, you don't know if he completed the circle because she did get to him and shackle his wrists.
Yeah, I thought I did see the circle.
Yeah.
But there's a weird, mysterious, magical door that opened, and the witch goes right in it, and we see like a lot of like what looks like lost souls.
It's presumably like the underworld.
Yeah, and they're reaching out, and now we see Mal being dragged through this long chain.
Just like in the story
Yes.
that the hotel owner was telling the kids in the beginning. So we keep the movie, the money moving.
Yes. In the meantime, while that is happening, Ohm is on, like we said, on the floor, and he's been crying, and we see the ghost of Mom, and she gets really close to him.
Well, and she doesn't look all shot up and corpsey anymore.
No.
And he's like, yeah, it was an accident. I'm so sorry. Yep. And
And she says, I know. And she hugs them, and she says, you can't stay down here. And so it was basically like
redemption.
Yes.
Like forgiveness.
Really
conveniently,
he had this.
He finds this mini hacksaw.
Yeah.
That he had with him, and as his chain is becoming tighter and tighter and tighter,
he realizes he was going to go also
into the underworld with Mal.
Mm-hmm.
He cuts through this thick chain in like 5 seconds. I'm like, okay, that's a little, but I get it. And
maybe she helped him.
Yeah, who knows? And he gets up, runs back down the hallway, cuts down the keys
the same with the
for the honeymoon suite that are hanging from the hallway. He gets back in the dumbwaiter, the golf club guy, boop, boop, hits the button. He goes back up.
And when he finally gets back to the room, did you notice that the corpse of Fiona, her eyes now were closed?
Yeah, her eyes are closed.
It was like okay, he avenged my death or whatever.
Avenge my death.
And so he still has to run because the hotel is on fire.
Mm-hmm. So he gets into the elevator to go down into the main part of the hotel and is basically overcome by the smoke almost immediately.
As soon as the elevator opens downstairs, he just kind of collapses and he's trying to kind of breathe. He can't. Luckily,
Flanders
Fergal comes to the rescue and he goes into the hotel.
Well, Fergal came back looking for Jerry.
Yes.
And runs into the flaming hotel and pulls Ohm out.
Mm-hmm. Then we cut out of that to a hospital bed.
Now, if you notice the way things are shot, now everything seems much brighter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's in the hospital and he's talking to this is when we see Albie again.
Yes.
He's not a bellhop anymore. He's an ice cream man kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in to visit Ohm in the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Ohm is a lot you can tell he's in a much better state of mind,
but he's still annoyed by Albie a little bit.
Yeah.
But he tells Ohm, Albie tells Ohm that he basically spiked his drink
after he got burned with a spoon in his hand.
Yeah, with some of Jerry's magic mushroom powder.
Mm-hmm.
And this maybe explains, I thought they were going to go into, okay, he was still in the hotel or he was still in the hospital from when he tried to hang himself and this whole thing was a hallucination.
No.
But it wasn't. But supposedly it just made him more open to seeing certain things, I guess. Yeah. He kind of basically calls out Ohm. Albie does, going like, you were really rude and you burnt my hand, so I spiked your drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then he's like, I'll bring my manuscript later.
Now, thinking about the timeline, though, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well,
because he spiked his drink at the bar that night in the hotel, and then he went up and hung himself. Ohm did. And then came back to the hotel a week later. So you would think this stuff was worn off by now.
No, I think when he got his stuff from the hotel that he had left, because at some point when he goes back to the hotel after the hospital, they give him a box of his stuff. And I believe that's where he got his flask.
Oh,
maybe I'm wrong.
I didn't remember seeing. Oh, yeah, because he was drinking out of his flask when he was up in the thing. Okay, good catch. Good catch.
Yes.
So
now the movie's over. It basically ends there where... Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's one more thing. Because after he's done with all of this, we see the Conquistador, which was the very beginning of the epilogue of his book. And instead, the Conquistador, we see him, instead of smashing the bottle over the boy, he gives the bottle to the boy and he says, you smash it right here and you keep hitting it until you get the map out and you follow that map. And the boy just doesn't have it in him. He has a different way of dealing with this. He just throws the bottle away. And they end up hugging each other and crying, and that was the end. So he made a different choice, different decision for the ending of this storybook. And this is where the movie ends.
So we glossed over a lot. I mean, that was we were still pretty detailed in our description because you had to be with this movie. But our synopsis, our description of this movie probably didn't do it justice.
No. This movie made me really happy.
I mean,
it just checked all of the check marks for me, all of the boxes for me. It had the creepy factor, it had the haunting, it had the atmosphere, the sounds, the very good special effects. It was very, very tense and at some points was over the top with the tension, like you mentioned before when we were talking. It did have some comic relief, especially with Jerry. And I think Jerry's character, that's the best that was done with his character was the comic relief. Although Jerry was very important to the plot. Because without Jerry, he wouldn't even have gone to the honeymoon suite. But I think the fact that everything was wrapped up in a nice little bow at the end wasn't maybe what we wanted.
I wanted a darker ending for such a dark movie,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know how. Like, this movie could have been screened to test audiences and they didn't like the ending. You just you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere, the sound design especially, like, I would go and see it in the theaters just for the sound, but if not, hopefully you have a good sound system at home, whatever you're watching it on, because it definitely, there were some times where it was so loud it was almost overpowering, but it worked.
Mm-hmm. And if you have seen his other movies, this is what he does.
That's he definitely has a style.
Yeah, yeah. So if you like this kind of style, definitely, and if you like this movie, I would suggest, if you haven't seen Oddity or Caveat, definitely go watch them. But as soon as this movie was announced that it was coming and it was from the same people who did the other two, that's when I didn't even want to watch any trailers. I'm like, yep, sign me up. I want to watch it. I want to see it. I want to review it.
And I went into this movie with high expectations, and thankfully it delivered.
Yes. Not like, oh, this is the best movie ever. Oh, this is like from the creators of Long Legs and Weapons, and then you get let down.
Yeah.
So, this is a movie that I can say it satisfied me. It was good. It was great. So, with that, any more saying? Let's want to get into the scoring. So, if you are this is our time. So this is our new section. When we are about to go into scoring, we're just gonna get a little bit more drunk.
Oh yeah.
Yep, that's good. So if you are new here, we score our reviews using 3 categories: the plot, acting and directing, and rewatchability. So let's get to the plot. What do you think?
Well, we score on a scale of 0 to 5.
5.
0 being the worst, 5 being the best, obviously. So plot,
smart.
I thought it wasn't a totally original concept, but the way it was executed was very original. I thought the only thing I would have liked a little more in the plot was maybe a little backstory as to how the witch got there in the first place.
Okay.
You know, like, how did the witch just get into the honeymoon suite?
Well, they did say the Cobb, but Cobb seems to have more knowledge.
Well, it could have been something too where the witch lived in the woods and they built this hotel,
on top of
and
it.
You never know.
But I think Cobb knew more because the story that he was telling of the kids.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a deal breaker, and that kind of stuff that they let go, I think they made up with the character development of Ohm. So I think I'm going to give the plot a 4 out of 5 bunny corpses.
Okay. So yeah, I think the plot, even though like nothing is ever new, it's so hard to find a brand new original plot nowadays. But this was the way it was done. It was the way it was executed and everything. I think it was fantastic. I had no idea where this was going at the beginning and for most of the movie until we get to the honeymoon and suite. And I wanna give this a 5. Yeah.
Okay.
5 um bellhoppers.
Oh my god. All right, our next category is acting and directing.
Okay.
Everybody in this movie was really good.
Mhm.
There wasn't like a weak link. Adam Scott did a great job as the
Absolutely.
lead,
Yes.
conveying dread and fear. And because this movie, there were jump scares in this movie. They were done really well though, because I could kind of see them coming, and they were still effective.
Yes. Yes.
And my only criticism, and I told you this already, was that sometimes they kept the tension going too long and then never released it and then built it back up. It was just on and on and on. And at some point, I was like, okay, come on. But it's because I wanted to get like to the next level of like I was at like a 7 out of 10 on the tension scale, and I wanted to be brought up to the resolution of that and get to the 10.
Mhm.
But again, it wasn't a deal breaker.
No.
I thought the directing was really good, and I'm throwing all the other stuff in there, the way it was shot, the sound design. It was really, like, I had goosebumps at some points in this movie, and that doesn't happen to me a lot, because I've seen everything.
Mhm.
I've seen things, man. And so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 bunny corpses.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think all of the characters did amazing. I have no complaints with the acting. I think it was superb. I was a little concerned with Adam Scott again because Scott. I don't think I've seen him personally in a serious role. However, he nailed it. He was not very likable for most of the movie until you understand why he is the way that he is.
But even as unlikable as he was, you were
he was
actually
really
still
good.
rooting for him.
Absolutely. Yeah. You want to know like what the hell, but I mean, it was fantastic. The directing, oh my god. Wow. Just wow. I have nothing more to say than what you said. 5 out of 5. Bellhoppers.
Okay, rewatchability, and I said it before, I'll say it again. Rewatchability is one of basically two things. One, the movie was just so good that you want to watch it again. The other one is that there was things in it that maybe you think you miss in the first viewing, and you want to see it again and see if things are like, oh, that explains it kind of thing.
Yeah.
For that, I think I could rewatch this movie knowing what happens and still be creeped out by it. Maybe not like continuous viewing, but another viewing I could. There's probably some stuff in this movie too that was missed.
Yeah.
Because I was eating your leftover chicken fingers. So, I am going to give it a 4 out of 5 bunny corpses.
Yeah, I can definitely watch this again and probably again. I think this movie is the kind of movie that I want to know more about. I want to know what I missed. I want to know because obviously, there's no subtitles in the theater. And I want to know what else I can. Yeah, no.
Every movie we watch for you gets at least a 1 for rewatchability if we saw it in the theaters, because you need to see it at home with the subtitles.
That's true. I have to. I can't wait to watch Undertone at home and see what I missed because of subtitles. No, yeah, I'm excited for this to come out in streaming. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 bellhoppers. So my final score is 14 out of 15, and that is a very big, high score.
Yep, and mine is a 13 out of 15.
That's very high too.
Yeah, this is a really good movie.
I'm very happy that we went.
I am, yeah. I was excited to go see this movie, and I'm glad that I wasn't disappointed when I left the theater. And I could tell because we live farther away from civilization now, so we have probably at least a half-hour drive home from our nearest theater. And I was thinking about the
Yeah.
movie the whole time on the way home, just
Yes.
thinking about certain things. And it's really effective. And like I said, our review doesn't do it justice. The atmosphere, just the still shots of Fiona dead with her eyes open
Yeah.
in the bunny suit.
Yeah. I
Certain
agree.
stuff like that, just that they kept lingering on because you didn't know if there was a supernatural element to where she was going to move or something like that.
Well, the supernatural element was from her was more on that tape recorder when it just kept going off on its own, and it was a guidance to Om, and
Yeah.
and it was a very good, kind of like a step by step, kind of thing. So
But there were
it was
some
very good.
genuinely scary, like tense moments in this movie. So
Yeah.
kudos to Damian McCarthy.
Yes. I am a big fan. I
Yeah.
can't wait
like-
for your next one.
I've seen 3 of
This
his
is the third,
movies,
yeah.
and they're all winners. They're all really good movies.
Yes. Also, kudos to Adam Scott. I think now I will look forward to see what else he does after this. I think he moved up a notch with his kind of work that he can do. There's something to be said about horror movies. We don't get a lot of our horror movies in Best Picture, Best Actors, Best Supporting Actor. I mean, this past year we did with Sinners and Weapons, but there is something to be said about the kind of work that you put out in a movie like this.
Well, horror movies always get snubbed.
Absolutely.
For whatever reason,
Yeah.
people don't take them seriously. And
And
I don't care
think it was.
if they win awards. It's just like being a fan of Rush. They never win awards, but damn it, they're the best band in the world.
Okay, that's very biased. But
Right,
anyway.
right there with King's X, guys.
But anyway, I really
No,
hope...
there's no bias in it. Like Rush is the best band in the world, ever,
Sure.
ever.
Absolutely. Anyway, if you go watch this movie, I hope you love it as much as we did. Definitely let us know down in the comments what were your thoughts. This movie is ranking really high right now on Rotten Tomatoes, and I really hope that it doesn't get all hyped up to the point that it disappoints fans. I think it's more of a watch it and make your own decision.
Well,
this is
and
a
we're
good movie.
pretty cynical, jaded horror movie fans. Even if we're not watching a movie to review it, it takes a lot for us to be like, wow, that was a really good
It's
movie.
true.
Most of it is like, oh my god, and we could pick it apart. And there are some things in this movie we could nitpick, but that's all it would be. It would be nitpicking at this point, just to be dicks about it. And I'm not going to do that because the rest of this movie was so good.
I honestly think this is gonna be up on the top of my favorite 2026 movies.
Oh, definitely. Oh, well, right now it's my favorite movie of 2026.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, we are going to get into what time is it?
What time is it? Game time. And I got to go and get my phone because I put it over here.
Right over there.
Okay.
Game time.
All right, so we usually play a game that has something to do with the theme of the movie, and we've done witches, we've done supernatural stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to do something a little different. So there was a lot of really big decisions that characters made in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Mal's decision to basically not take responsibility for getting Fiona knocked up and making the
Right.
decision to kill her.
By the way, guys, don't just don't do that. Sorry, the drink is getting to me.
or just never mind. I was gonna say something really, but anyway. So the other big decision in this movie was Ohm's decision to go and look for Fiona. Hence the reason for the whole movie.
Yeah, he didn't really have to.
So we're going to play a game about decisions, and this game is Would You Rather.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to ask you questions, and I'm going to answer them too, because there's no right or wrong answer, but we're going to see if we agreed with the majority of people in this.
I hope you can play at home too.
So the first one is, would you rather spend a night at the Bates Motel or spend a night at the Overlook Hotel from The Shining?
Oh my God, Bates.
Okay, so I would agree, 52%, and I thought this would be higher. Only 52% of the people decided they would stay at the Bates Motel, and I would stay at the Bates Motel because the motel itself is not supernatural,
Right.
as opposed to the Overlook.
The Overlook is.
I would think there's a lot. It would be a lot easier to survive a night at the Bates Motel than the Overlook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the next one: would you rather go for a swim at Camp Crystal Lake, the setting for Friday the 13th, or go for a swim in the Black Lagoon? Oh, see, I agree with this one. The creature from the Black Lagoon, by the way.
Crystal Lake.
Yep, me too, and that's 77% of the people said that because,
I'm not having sex, so
well, and
it should be okay.
and like the creature could be anywhere in the lagoon, and it's amphibious, so I think it could get around a lot easier and get you. Okay, here's a tough one. Would you rather solve Pinhead's puzzle box from the Hellraiser movies, or play one of Jigsaw's games from Saw?
Oh God. I think I would have a better chance with Jigsaw.
See, and this I don't agree with. I agree too. But 72% of the people said they would solve Pinhead's puzzle box. Now,
no.
well, see, if you solve Pinhead's puzzle box, you're fucked.
Yeah. You
still have a chance.
Yeah, you still have a chance in the Jigsaw because you might have to kill someone else, or you might have to dig into someone else's bloody mess, and I will probably be okay with that.
Okay, here's the next one. Would you rather have Margaret White as your mom, who is Carrie's mom, played by Piper Laurie, who is still one of the scariest characters in a horror movie that I've ever seen, or Pamela Voorhees, the actual killer from the first Friday the 13th movie? It wasn't Jason.
Right.
It was Jason's mom.
What was the question again?
Would you rather have Margaret White, Carrie's mom, as your mom, or have Pamela Voorhees, Jason's mom, as your mom?
Pamela Voorhees.
Well, and see, people are stupid.
Really?
Oh, no. They're right, but they're not as right as you would think they are. 53% said Pamela Voorhees, and yes, I would agree with that because Pamela Voorhees killed for her son. Carrie White's mom was trying to kill her daughter. Would you rather have Freddy Krueger after you in your dreams, or have Samara, the girl from The Ring, after you because you watched the video?
Samara.
Oh, see, this is where I disagree. And before we see the results, this is where...
Because I know how to beat it. You're just going to have to get someone else to watch the tape.
Well, no, because it's saying that she's already after you.
Oh.
So...
Yeah,
well,
that's a
I don't know.
thing.
It leaves it kind of open because somebody might wake you up if you have Freddy after you. 55% of the people said Freddy Krueger. I would think that Samara... Well, first of all, we got to put this into modern times. So if you watched a videotape, first of all, you'd have to find somebody with a VCR.
No, the last movie, Rings, they were able to digitalize it.
We don't talk about that movie. Digitalize it. Okay.
Digitalize it.
You want to keep going?
Yeah.
Would you rather have dinner alone with Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, or have dinner alone with Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs?
Hannibal Lecter would definitely feed better cuisine, even though it's meat from human, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that he will kill me. Bateman, on the other hand, dinner might just mean he's gonna kill me later.
So I think I could overpower Hannibal Lecter. I don't know if I could overpower Patrick Bateman because he's ripped.
He is ripped.
But 66% of the people said they would have dinner alone with Patrick Bateman.
Really? Nope. See, Hannibal Lecter has standards, and he is a chef. So.
A chef?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather? We'll do 3 more.
Okay.
There's a lot.
They're fun.
Would you rather have Chucky as a toy, or have Reagan from The Exorcist as a sister?
Fuck that, Chucky.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
That's an
because
easy one.
I don't know how so many people got killed by a freaking doll.
You just
when you could just kick it.
it.
But only 54% of the people said have Chucky as a toy.
That is a lot for the other one. Annabelle.
Okay, would you rather have some of the Ice Cream Man's ice cream? There is an old 80s horror movie called The Ice Cream Man.
Oh, because there's a new one coming up.
Or have a balloon from Pennywise. Well, this is easy.
Balloon?
Yeah, you'd rather have a balloon from Pennywise. 75% of the people said have a balloon from Pennywise. Okay, let's see. I want to get a good one here. Okay. Would you rather get chainsawed by Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or get turned into a wax figure while still alive by Vincent in House of Wax?
Oh, God.
Oh, this is interesting. So, you get covered in wax while you're still alive and you die like that.
That's a horrible death. I remember the movies, but also hanged.
Or get chainsawed by Leatherface.
I think wax.
See, it's 50-50.
Oh.
It's actually 50-50.
Wow.
I would rather get chainsawed by Leatherface because it's
that's gonna
probably going to be
hurt.
over a lot quicker.
Oh,
Where if you get waxed,
it might
you're
take a
probably going to
few-
die of starvation or thirst or asphyxiation.
Yeah.
That could take a while.
Yeah, but chainsaw.
I'll take the quick pain and the quick death
You don't know how quick that
over.
is.
Somebody sticks a chainsaw in you, you're gonna die pretty quick.
Oh,
If nothing else, you're gonna go into shock.
yeah. You're right. Yeah. Okay.
So we tried to do something a little different here with the.
I hope
our
you
game.
enjoyed it. I hope you also answered some of those at home.
Yeah. What did you guys answer? So.
Let us know.
Yep. And we're dropping our podcasts usually on Thursdays or Fridays.
Thursdays or Fridays, depending on how busy.
Yeah, because she's a full-time student. I don't know enough
I'm
about
a
this
full-time
stuff.
worker.
I'm
and
just the pretty face behind
he
the
is.
camera.
He really is. No, but seriously, we do everything because we love doing this. We love you guys. We really enjoy doing this, not just because of, drinking, but we have fun. And we love talking about horror movies. We love that we are getting a little bit more traction on TikTok, but can you also give us some love on YouTube? That would be great. Up here, you can see where you can watch
it's
us.
backwards. Here we
Watch
go.
us or listen to us. And down here, you can connect with us, talk to us, send us message. We try to stay active. And yeah. Again, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. And I think that's all we have for you tonight.
And with that, we
We are done.
out. No, we're not done. We're out.
We're out.